Hola, hola. Hello, welcome everybody. How are you today? Bienvenidos a todos. ¿Cómo están? Okay, friends. So today is the recap streaming about the Hero Hulk that we made here in 54 days. I think, I don't remember, 54 or 55, I don't remember, 54 days. So I'm going to start to explain what we did here. Okay, first let me see the references. Okay, this was the design, the original design that we wanted to create. So I wanted to sculpt like this. You can see here the sharp edges in the borders, also this belt with this like energy here. The comic style, this is more for the painting area, so I always like to have a final render for my. I always have already a style for my renders, but I always try to sculpt with the references, trying to follow in the references. Okay, so we first started with creating the basic shapes, the muscles, the body, the height, the expression here in the face. I started creating already the expression in the face, so you can see here the proportions also. Okay, in this first file, this is like the blocking part of the character. So I already started in Son Goku. I started with just basic shapes for the fingers, but in this case I already create the final parts of the tips of the fingers with the high poly version, because it is like creating this again was too much work. So in Son Goku we did that, and I'm not going to say that we lose time, but I already showed you. So in that case I show you how to do it, and in this case I already go to the process. To save time, I create the final high poly version of the tips of the fingers and join to the rest of the body. But as you can see, the rest of the character is with basic shapes only. You can see here that we don't have a lot of resolution, just here the proportions as always. And we don't have like a great like the references from side, from back, so I always try to get some screenshots from the game. This is for the game Marvel Rivals, this character, so I try to get some images from the game and just try to use all the references to create my character. Also here I was not sure in this part how the hair was going to be, so I just create these curves to know that this is where the hair was going to start. Okay, so this is only for the first file, basic proportions, basic shapes, like we always do. You can see that we have already like the muscles. You can see the design, but we only have like the proportions, but we don't have the design, this hard like boundaries, edges here for the shape. So this is only the basic shapes. Okay, let's go to the next file. In this one, I think that we started to create the final pose, but I think that I polish, I add more detail, especially to the hands. You can see here that I already create the hands with high poly resolution, but with not much detail. I think that in this we already have like, no, this is like the same, yes, the same to the other side. Okay, I added bones here. Bones here, as you can see, to move the parts of the body of my character to get to the final pose. I think that at this time I wasn't sure what was going to be the final pose, so in this case I just add the bones and work on the pose for the hands, because I wanted to create something like this, not the same, but the hands something like this. So that's why I do the hands in this way. Okay, let's go to the other file. Here I think that I already created the final pose. Let me see. Yes, in this part here I already go to the final pose. Let me see if I have this is an example of a final render. This is like the final pose that I wanted to create. It was like just the character standing, but something like trying to say like, if you want to fight, I'm here, something like that. That's like the expression of the body for this character. Also here you can see that we don't have, as I change the pose of the character, I had to change the proportions of some parts of the body, the muscles. I'm talking about the muscles. So that's in this part I start to use the grab tool only, I think, the grab brush, and I start to change this. Hello friend, no, this is the recap. I am just showing what I did to get to the final version. This is in this recap streaming, we already finished the character, remember. This is just the recap that I always do when I finish a character. I explain what we did from the beginning of the proportion and all of that, the blocking. I am explaining what I did. I am saying that I use bones here to pose the character. Okay, you can see here the bones. Also, just here for the people that are here, if the streaming stops and shut down with me saying nothing, that's not my fault. My UPS go damaged, and I go yesterday to the shop to get it to be repaired. So I am now with no UPS. So if I have a blackout, everything is going to turn off immediately. So just you to know, if I stop the streaming, that's the reason. Okay. I do what I can. Okay. Also, I have to say something important, that maybe in the next week we are not going to have the Blender streaming, because I cannot work with my machine connected directly to the wall, to the current, to the power. So I always use the UPS for these problems that we have in our country, the energy problems. And I am using small devices to protect the PC, but the computer is going to turn off immediately. So I cannot, it is not recommended to use Blender and streaming at the same time to do that. So maybe we are going to have gaming and streaming nights, okay? Just for you to know. Okay, so we did that. Here we use the bones and start creating the shapes. Also here I remember that I wanted the toes. Toes is the name of this, right? To be separated. So I forgot to add bones here, and later we have like a problem. But we found the solution. I don't remember what I did. With the help of Miguel, we tried to figure out what to do. I think that I have to move and separate some part of the leg, something like that. Okay, but this was the final pose. So let's move into the next part. I think that here I already add more detail. Let me see. Yes, I think that here, okay, in this file I already start to add the design, the style of the character. You can see the hard, the sharp edges, the borders here in the muscles. I start to polish the character to add more detail, to add more topology to the face too. I think that here I changed a little bit expression to be more like the Hulk here in this version. I don't know where is here. You can see here these sharp edges. So I think that here I started to add more detail with the sharp edges style. But I still do not do nothing for the feet. So I think that in the next file I do something with that. But here you can see that I started to add more proportions. I think that also I have, that was before, but I changed a little bit the position of the upper body to make this a little bit taller, to make more sense with our reference. Just that I think that we did something like that. And I was sure that this was the final pose for the upper body. I like it, so I delete all the bones here and just start. I continue. Here this is what I tried to do here with my toes. I added the bones here, so I can move this to separate this slightly to do what I wanted for the final character. So the rest of the body I think that I already defined here, but not the legs. I still continue to work here with the legs. So let's go to the next file. I'm trying to do this like very quickly, but if you want me to stop to say something, please write it, your question down, so we can check that, because I don't want a blackout coming and not finish what we are doing here. So that's why I'm very paying attention to something if I have a blackout. So that's why I am going like a little bit quickly. But if you want me to stop, just say it, and I stop to explain something if you need that. Okay, so here you can see that I already joined the legs, this one, and here was the thing that I already told you, that I had to separate the leg and start just working on to leave this space here, because I always want to, for my final renders, to leave these spaces, so to make it like more real. But I know that when you change this for 3D printing, you're going to join this, and if you need, you'll have to add some meshes here to not left like holes, and that could cause some issues when you want to print the character. So for rendering, I always like to do this. If you don't want to do that, okay, you can go directly to join this and just use brushes to separate the toes here. But I want to do it in this way. It is more hard. It is very difficult. You can see in the streamings when we were in this part, we use a lot of time trying to do that. But as I always say, that's what I really like to do. I use the time to try to explain, to try different things, to try these challenging things. But if you don't have to do that and you don't need to do that, okay, just go to the most convenient thing that you need, okay, for you, for your purpose. And I think that I did this because later I delete this one and just duplicate this one and slightly change the position. I don't remember. Yes, because that was a lot of work. I think that I did that. I think that I already add more details here to the hands. Yes, that's what we did here. We work on more details here for the character, the ears, the face, the teeth. You can see that I don't know if in the last file we already have the teeth, but we take some time to create the separate parts here with the teeth. But this was the standard teeth, because later I changed slightly to make it more for the character, like following the style. And that's what we did here. I think that in the other files I started with the hair. I don't remember. Let's see. No, this is with the leg. Let me see what we did here. Okay, here we started to add clothes, the pants and the belt in this part, as you can see. And here we have some videos, like a week of videos, trying to create the hair. This was just the blocking. I use a lot of references from different haircuts, trying to follow in the style. You can see here I use this, but I did something wrong, because as I cannot see a clear reference here, I didn't see here very well. I just tried to follow like a realistic hair, and that was a mistake, because you never are going to, I know already that, but I don't know, maybe I was trying to see what can I change later. Okay, so if you are creating hair, it is impossible to try to create like each piece of hair like we have in real life. There is nothing, you never have to try to do that, unless you are creating high poly like cinema characters, but you don't sculpt that hair, you use different tools. In this case that we are sculpting, we don't have to create hair by hair. We have to find a way to create large pieces of hair and then like sculpt some details and try to follow the haircut and all of that. So that's why we take a lot of time with the hair, but this was just the blocking. And also with the belt, I try also some methods, but I don't remember why the usual methods that I used didn't work. So I have to use different. I think that later this works. I try to use a curve and I create the pieces here of the belt here, and then with the curve try to follow this part of the body to create the belt. But later I apply it and then just start to move this manually and see if I can have the belt. And I think that this was the basic, like the blocking of the belt, and this was the final version of the belt that I want. I think that later I changed. Yes, I later changed some pieces, rotate, move, but that's later. This was just the starting. Also, you can see I already told you that for the leg I duplicate this, and here you can see what I was trying to say. You can see that those are separated, right? This is not mesh, this is not join, and I want to do that for the render. But for the 3D printing version, of course, that is going to join with this, and you have to, if you want, to polish a little bit with brushes and all of that. I duplicate because this was very difficult to do, and just slightly change the position of the proportions of the muscles here for the other leg, because remember that we have the character, this is not a symmetrical character, we have the body in a different position for each side. Okay, so let's go with the next file. Okay, in this file we did a lot of things. First, here I think that we already defined the final proportions of the muscles. You can see here, you can see the pants that I modeled these pants and then use the what is the name of that modifier, is the multi-res that we did with Son Goku. So I use the multi-res modifier and start sculpting details and then join, and then also I have to join some pieces here to just don't have like this. I only want like these borders here, like here at the starting of the pants, but in this part I want a solid piece so I can sculpt all of these details. The same with this one. So you can see that, I know that you cannot see, but if you check the streamings, I think that in these parts I did that. I add like a whole mesh here so I can sculpt with no problems details in the pants, because here in the next files I'm going to show the problem that I had later, but there are some details that you can fix later. There are not big problems. And here is the most important part that we did. We have like 2 weeks creating this belt. This was this was like the blocking of the t-shirt, this t-shirt here, this. And we start creating the belt. This was the final pieces of the belt. I think that here I did not apply already here I did not apply the mirror modifier, because I use mirror modifier, but remember that we have this leg in a different position, so these pieces are in different position. These are not the same as this one. Maybe in these parts these are up and these are a little bit down, something like that. And also this was the most difficult. Let me show you. This was a very difficult piece to do. This one with the triangles and the holes here. And also here you can check that I changed a lot with these pieces to try these holes to create this was a lot of work. You can check that. Also we play with curves and a right at the beginning just to have like a notion, to have like a reference of how these parts here are going to be later. So this is just an array. This was not the final position for these parts here. You can see also to create like this detail here, these lines, I separate the piece in different parts, so I can play with bevel and with different designs here. So I used like that method or trick, you can call it whatever you want, but I did that. I separate, so that's why I create like this sharp borders, sharp details. This was also a very difficult piece. This lock, these letters here, I used text, I don't remember, you can check the streamings. I use the text tool here in Blender, then move it in this position and try then to, you can see here, here I already did not make the work, but as you can see, I always try to use 4 side polygons here, 4 sides always for modeling. So the challenge here in the next file was to do the same with the letters. We have a lot here of edges that we have to join, so this was a very difficult process. But we did it. So let's see that in the next chapter. But first, this was the first haircut, the first version of the hair that I create. This was good, but it was not what I wanted. This was not what I wanted, and when I don't want something, I want to change it. I prefer to change something if I don't like the result, if I know that I can do it better. So that's what happened with the haircut. This is a version that I create. We took like 1 week creating this. I don't remember, a lot of time, but that was something that I didn't like. That maybe that was too realistic and didn't follow like the style. And also here I started to see that we have a lot of triangles here to create this. So that's something that I needed to change. I think that in the face we did nothing else, no, right? No, I think that I changed a little bit. I add more details here. I change a little bit the proportions here in the head. Nothing else here. I stopped doing something here. Later at the end, I think that I did something else here. Also I joined. I think that you already saw that, but the head we did not join this head to the body yet. So let's go to the next one. Also I separate my nails. You can see this was already like the final version of our character. And you can see here the curve that I use for the hair. So the hair is not like a complete like in a sphere and then changing the shape. It has a design, and the design is this one, like this. So let's continue with the next one. I don't remember what I did here. Let's see. Let's wait a little bit because here we have more details. Okay, I think that here I already... Okay, let's check. You can see here what I already told you, that I always like to leave 4 polygons. Always. I always find a way to have 4 polygons here. And with the subdivision, this is going to be more detail, but I think that I changed the subdivisions method that I use. You can see that here we have more pieces, but I did not finish these pieces yet, these curves here. I already changed these pieces that I told you that I changed. Nothing else here. And in the face, let me see. The same with the haircut. I didn't do anything else. I think that add more detail here to the face. But you can see that in the belt we have more details. We already have like the final version. I also have to change this piece. I had to change. You can see, and also I did not apply yet the mirror modifier, so that's why you see that some parts are like hidden, because I had first to apply the modifier and then move this separately from the other part. But you can see the work that we did here. Okay, so I think that I changed a little bit, starting to create the final version of the shirt. Yes, I think that I did that here. Okay, let's go to the next one. Let's wait for a moment for this file to open. Okay, so here, I think that I already polished these pieces. I think that I already had polish also the position, adjust the position of this. I think that in this part I already finished the belt. I already applied the modifier, so you can see that I moved the pieces, and you can see the pieces here. That's what we did here. Let me see what else. We already did not change in this part. We did not change the haircut, so I think in the next one we're going to do that. So this is I played with the belt. Remember, let me see. I played with in some pieces, not all the pieces. I play with the subdivision, with one subdivision in simple and the next subdivision in the CAD mold Clark. First, this one is like to preserve, to maintain the sharp edges, and the other one was to, in base of that edges, to start adding more detail. In some pieces, for example in this one, I only used the normal. Yes, like that. This one, I think the normal, okay. Once you add bevel, bevel, you can add this and don't have like a weird mesh. You can see also a very important thing to say is that for these parts I create separate pieces, because this was in the future. I'm trying to say that in the final part, these are the pieces that are going to have the lights of the belt. Let me show you. Also, let me show you how was the final. You can see here. I try to follow. Also, I think that I import like something. No, because I don't have a clear logo like this, but I think that I download some fonts to use, or I import another font from the computer to Blender to create this. I think that I did that just because I remember that the font that I had here for the file, that was not the font that I wanted. So this is what you have here. Also these details. I create like in the inside, like the belt, the real belt, a piece that was going to have like a unique design, and was going to be part like to not left like some spaces with no design, with no belt, and to make sense that this is like the part that connects all the other parts of the belt. That's why I create that. Okay, so let's go to the next one. Here I think that let me see, in this one. Okay, here we start to add details to the eyebrows. You can see here, and more details to the face, of course. For the belt I did nothing else because I already did what I needed to do. Yes, here I also add detail to the cloth, to the shirt, and as you can see, the multi-res modifier at the beginning, so I can add sculpt details and have some level of detail that I can work with without like using remesh. In this case, for this part, I know that the bad thing, like the problem with this multi-res is that you have like this. In this case, because that was the model, you have this perfect square. So if you want to add some detail like here, to add a line, I don't know, that is going to be a problem. Just for you to know that. So with the remesh you don't have that. But for this shirt I want to use this because as you can see, you don't have too much detail, just the final, the big shapes, the big details here in the borders. Okay, and I think that here, no, I did not change the haircut. No, that is in the next one. So nothing else in the rest of the body, just this. Let me see. The eyebrows. Also I joined the teeth here. You can see that I make it like more comic to join and add some detail to polish a little bit. That's what we have here. Trying to follow again the final reference, the final version of a character, the version that we want to create. You can see here that we have like these are joined, this is like a whole mesh with some details in the teeth, and these are separated parts. That's what we create here. But later this was like a little challenge for the printing version because you left these spaces and you cannot do that if you are going to create this for 3D printing. You cannot do that. You have to cover these spaces or leave like more space, so you're not going to have issues in the future if you want to create your 3D printing version of the character. Here I think that I already changed the haircut, the hairstyle. Okay, here you can see this awesome hairstyle that I created for the whole. I changed the other one. That it was not like a bad option, but I mean for me was a bad option. I can see that later. I could see that later, but what I wanted to say is that was not working for my whole character. But this one we changed and we have something to work with. We can add more details, to add lines, all the things that you can see here. The only thing that we cannot do because we don't have more level of topology, let's say it like that, was for example these small, very small details, like for example this, some wrinkles. I don't know if that is the word, like lines, small lines that you have in the lips that we have on our lips. These small details I cannot add that because I don't have enough level of detail of topology to do that. And for example, that was not going to work for this character because I joined the head to the body. So if I want to do that, I need to add a lot of the topology, and that is not good. So that you also have to think, when you are creating something, you have to think, what do you want to print? If you are creating for printing, in this case, that's what that is this character for 3D printing. So you always have to be really careful on what you are going to do, because if you do something, maybe in the future it's going to cause you some problems. And I'm going to show you a little problem that I am having now with this character, but not with the design. No, this is perfect. I'm going to explain to you when we get to that part. When we get to that part, okay? So just wait a moment. Let me continue explaining what we have here. Okay, here I don't do anymore, nothing else here, and because I already finished this part. Yes, we already finished this part. So we only have to work in our hair. Yes, we did that. We also reduce the number of curves here for the hair, and we create this one. I also, let me see if I have the curves here. I create like two curves, different versions, so we can play with some more rounded version of some, like a little flat version in some parts, with two curves, with two curves, two circle curves we use for these pieces of hair. Okay, of hair. Of hair. Okay, I already joined the ears. I think that maybe in the previous file I already did that. For me to know, okay, what other details I need to add. For example, these lines, I think that I create these details that I didn't have in the other previous versions to make more, remember, to make sense with the rest of the body and with the reference that we wanted to create. So you have to keep in mind that. Okay, let's go to the next one. I usually turn on my camera for this, but as I am not having, remember my UPS, I wanted to use less resources for the PC so I can make this streaming. Let's hope nothing happens when we go to the render part. I am not going to render, but I'm going to show you. Here the computer is working a little bit because this is like this is the final version. I think I call it here belt. I add more detail. I join the head to the rest of the body, and also I make these small lines here for the head, for the hair, that you can see in our reference in the screenshot. These small lines, I wanted to create that, so that's what we did here. As you can see, the character is already finished. It has a lot of detail. It's looking really good. Also for the shirt, I think that was the final version of the shirt. I add some details like these weird lines, but trying to make it to keep the sharp edges. Yes, that's what I did here. Nothing else, right? I add some veins, some more details just to polish, to add the final details to each part of the body. That's something I like to do at the end before painting. When maybe in the painting process there is something that I want to add, but I usually check always before painting some extra details that I wanted to add. For example, here I add these veins also in the legs, but I needed to add another detail. I think in the next file I'm going to show you what I did here to make it more sense to follow let me show you this, like this, more sharp, because the feet was like everything was looking really good with details, with sharp edges, sharp boundaries, but here I don't have nothing. It was nothing here, so that's something not good for me, and I wanted to change that next file, right? Okay, we're going to see in the next file. My computer is working more. Let's see if we can do this. Okay, sculpting, final sculpting. I think that here I have the details that I am talking about. Let me see. Let's see. Yes, here we add these small details here to the leg, so we have like more a better version for the feet. Here I think that I did something else, and you can see that this has a lot of topology. You can check here the statistics here in this like corner. We have a lot, and this is impossible to work if we want to render, to paint. This is not something good. I mean, for sculpting it is great because we have separated pieces, but for painting and all of that, this is a problem. Also, in this final version that I name it the final version, it is not the final version because later I changed the teeth a little bit. Remember, because I told you, for 3D printing you have to be really careful on the spaces that you left, and I forgot here to change my teeth because you cannot do this. Maybe for the character and for that, and also it is not a good idea for the character because we are with your mouth closed, with your teeth closed, and you have these weird spaces. I mean, if you don't have perfect teeth, you may have these problems. But in the molars, I think that is the name of these pieces of this teeth here. It is not something like usual, and it is like not making sense. So I forgot to change this for this final part. But I fixed that in another upcoming file, I think. In the painting version, and also for the print version, for the painting version and for the print version, I changed some things. For example, here, add some zero spaces here for the printing version, and also I had some problems also here in my pants because of these details. I move also like inside, and this is separated to the leg, and when I joined the leg with the pants, this was a problem. It is like it joined but not completely joined, and you have weird like squares here that was not good. I saw that. I cannot show you that because I already deleted that, and I did not stream when I start like creating the printing version, because that's a lot of work. It's a lot, and also you have to wait for the computer to remesh and all of that, to test, and I think that that's not good. Maybe I can create a video on the process that I usually do, explaining the process in a short video. But for streaming, I think that is not a good idea. If this is like something like maybe that you do not want to continue doing, because we spent 54 days here, and in some cases it was like only a week or 2 weeks in the case of the belt, working on only one piece, on only one part of the character, and that was like what's the word with exhausting. That is very exhausting. For me, was very exhausting. So I don't know for you that are following the streamings. I think that you already like, okay, you continue doing that, but that's part of the process. So I show you here all the things that I do, we do here in streaming with a character. Okay. It is not like I turn off the streaming and I continue working, fixing some things, and in the next streaming I already add more parts or continue with the character. Not. We did here in streaming, so we can check, we can get something wrong, and then we can fix it, and you participate and all of that things. So that's important thing. This is not more like a tutorial. You can ask me a question. That's the purpose of the streams. And it's also, you can see the process that I follow, and maybe things that I try that may work or may not work for you or for your character, or maybe for this character that later I have to change later. So that's the thing. I know that that's very exhausting trying to follow in this, but in the sculpting process, that is the most important thing. You can check all the details. You don't miss anything. I always show you everything here. Also, I add more details here. What else? Nothing else. Yes, let's move into the next one. Okay, the painting process. Okay, let's check this one. This is like a little... we have some things to say here. Okay, let's wait a little bit for the file to open. The computer is working a lot, and I have to check constantly to these devices that I bought to protect the computer until my UPS get repaired. I don't know what was the problem. I had 2 blackouts yesterday. And in the second blackout, when the energy come back, the UPS didn't turn on. The turn on button wasn't working. So I was, no, why? Okay, let's find a solution. I have to take it to the store. But things happen, and if bad things happen, let's stay calm and let's wait for us find a solution. Okay, so that's what we have. I have to see what we can do in this week, maybe gaming streamings only, but I'm going to tell you that at the end of this stream. Okay, here in the painting process, this is you can see that we lower the level of topology like 20 million triangles less, because I had decimate. I needed to do that because this was too much work for the computer. Okay, here I know that some people told me that, okay, you're going to paint it like here, you're going to render it like it. Let me tell you again what is the problem with doing that. If I create something like this, you can see that this is a draw, but it is static. This is not going to move. This is the only image that you are going to have. This is a drawing. This is not 3D, or maybe this is a drawing, I think, or maybe 3D. But in the game, you don't use something like this. You use something similar to this, but not exactly like this. So here you can see that it is these lights, painting, the shadows, all of the small details, these tone lines here, borders, these lines here. The same with the pants and with the rest of the body, and this weird lighting, all of that you can see. Painting, the light here, painting. Everything here is painted. And I cannot do that in this case because this is not the only position, the final render that I'm going to do. I always create different renders. I also usually create a turntable animation, and for that, this is not going to work. There is a way to make it something similar to this, but it is impossible with this character. Why it is impossible with this character? Because we have a lot of triangles. This is for printing. Remember, this is not modeling. If we want to create something like this, we can just play with shaders, with grease pencil. We can do that. We can create something similar to this here in Blender. Also, I did not did something like this before, but there is nothing possible to do here. So we always learn something, and then I bring this to you. And for this character, that is not going to work. The PC is not going to do that. It is too much work for the PC. So I show you when I try to add the grease pencil, like the borders, the app closed. The app closed because that was too much. Okay, so what I usually do here, I use painting brush. You can do different things. You can just add a material, add a color, or you can do the thing that I do here, that is just add use the paint brush and start painting all my colors. Why I do that? Because if I only add a material, I have to depend to the shadows of the lightings that I add. But with the painting process, especially here, and here, I can play with how can I say it? I can play with adding like, not like the lights like this, but lights that we usually have in our body. For example, I don't have a reference here, but if we have the normal skin color, not green of course, I think that here we have something like blue in this down in this lower part of the face. Here we have the normal color, and here I think that maybe a little bit red. If we have a pink, our skin is like, I don't know if in my case I am not white, but I like how can you say this name? Mestizo is the ethnic. We don't have like, we are not white, completely white, but also for black people, I don't know if this also, it is the same. What I am trying to explain, that the lights, you always have here lights, and this part, depending on your skin color, let's not say colors, also, I mean yellow, red, and blue, but let's say this, explain it you like this. Here we have a bright part, a lighted part, because is the part where we receive a lot of light. Here is like more like blood and those kind of things, so maybe a little bit red, and this is like a little bit darker in the other case of Son Goku, because of his skin color. We have to add a little bit of blue because we have more shadow, we don't receive like a lot of light here. So the same, I think that for this character, I did not create that yet because I don't have my computer very well for the UPS. I cannot risk my computer to do something like that. Maybe I'll try, but not it's not something that I should do until I get my UPS repaired. So the same with the rest of the body, it's the same. Here you're going to receive more light, so here you have to make this a little bit brighter, clear. This in the, what is the name of this part? I forgot. Shoulders. The shoulders. You're going to receive light here, so maybe this is lighter than this, for example. Of course, here we're going to have like a little bit darker because we don't receive too much light here, and something like that, maybe for the muscles, and I can play with that. Okay, I can play with that. Also, maybe we have a little clear skin here, but maybe more red. If you are a white person, this is more red because you receive all the sun here. In my country, it's like that. You have to use like that kind of protection for sun cream. What is the name of that thing? For protection for the sun, that cream that you use to protect you from the sun. Okay, if you don't use that, you usually got this part darker. That's happened to me a lot. So this is clear and this is like a little bit darker because of the sun. So with that, what I am trying to say is, when you want to paint, you have to play with that. You have to try to do that. I did not do this because we cannot extend too much the streaming, and the important part here is like the sculpting process. This is my purpose with this streaming. If I create a painting streaming, that's something else. But I told you that when you see the final version of the render, the version that I already created is not what I did, but I already told you I cannot finish because of the computer, of the state of the computer right now. Okay, so maybe for the pants you can do the same. Maybe here you have clear parts because it is you can see that this is not new, these are not new, and maybe when you usually do a lot of work with pants, you usually lose color here in these parts, so you can keep in mind that. Also the same with the shirt. Now with these parts, for the rendering, let me show you here. I just use the painting normal, the painting version, just paint because I think that I can add some color, some details, but I want to prepare a new version to make this a little bit realistic, and I delete all that's what I was doing before I have the problem with the UPS, is that I change this, I delete the material for the color, and I add just metallic and directly materials, just add the color. And with the light, I think that was better, but the painting I'm going to do that for the skin and for the pants. But this part I think that I am only for the clothes, for the shirt too. But for the metallic parts like the belt here, I want to play with the metallic values of the normal materials. So that's what I am going to do for the other version. And for the hair, I am going to leave it like that. Maybe if I want, I can slightly, because I left this in painting, so I can add more detail. Also with the painting version, you can see that I already add a little bit of the hair, at least the limit, the shape of this part of the shadows here for the hair. Also here in the face, I already paint the lips. I think that I have to paint this a little bit more darker inside. You can see here the lips. Remember that for the eyes, I usually used a method for rendering that you are not going to use, that is not going to work for 3D printing. I duplicate the eyes and just join the inner parts of the iris, the pupil. I don't know how to pronounce pupilla. The small circle that we have here in the eyes. But you can see the shape. It is like a little here, a little sphere here. So you can follow like the shape of the eye, so you can paint it later. But I duplicate this and make an inner version to create the effect of a realistic eye. Okay. And here I wanted to add, and here is the problem that I have. I create this like energy to try to follow, to add some extra details to trying to follow in the reference, and it was looking really good. You can see here the render that I prepared. It was looking really good. I really like it. Add some light. But what is the problem with that? That because I remember that I told you at the beginning that when you are creating something, you have to know already what you are going to create, because depending on what is your idea, you're going to create like a plan, a process to follow and to get to that final part. So adding this small energy, it is good for the rendering. But if you want to add to the 3D printing version, it is okay, wait a moment. You already finished everything. You already know the spaces that you have to left, all, and now you want to add this. So how you're going to plan to change already what you already have, and to try to move to change everything, to fix, to make this to make sense with the rest of your design. Let me explain you better with the next file what I did here. Also, I already add lights, background, and all of that thing. I play with the lights, with the 3-point lights here. Okay, let's go with the prepare to print now. Here. Okay, what happened here? 14B, and what is 15B? This one. Okay, let me show you this one. Let me show you what I wanted to explain. What I'm trying to explain. Let's wait a moment because this is too much info to process. Let's hope nothing happens with a blackout or something like that. Until that, please remember, if you're new, please help me with a subscription and a like and a comment, and share this content with others. I hope you like this content. This is a lot of work, believe me, this is too much work. Okay, here. You can see like this, like weird metallic color for the nails. It is not metal, it is just with the render options. You're going to see this transparent. The same with the eyes. This is not metal or like a mirror. Okay, here is the problem. Here is the thing. That is what I am using a lot of time, maybe wasting a lot of time, because okay, I like the let me bring this to what I'm trying to explain. Let me see if I can show you downloads this one. Let me bring this into this place. Why is this too small? Okay, you can see here that I add more thunders energy. That is looking really awesome. Okay, this is looking really good for the character. Look at this. Also, I add let me show you with the compositing. You can check. I don't want to. Let me see if I can show you the compositing. Okay, this glare to. Okay, let me change a little the music to avoid copyright. Okay. Now let's continue. Okay, this is the big problem that I wanted to tell you. This is something that you do not have to do, because you're going to have the problem that I am having now. What is the problem? The character is perfect. It is finished. We finish here. It is looking really good, really great. I have no problems. I also was working on the. Maybe I did something wrong, but for the printing version, it is a complete different process. It is a lot. Also, remember that I always create a version of myself, but maybe that doesn't. It is not something that you don't like, and you want to change because maybe you have another 3D printer, or you want to try something else, you want to make it bigger, I don't know, for different reasons. You have to change. It is like, maybe if you are like a real artist that you know how to 3D print, you have your own 3D printer, and and you know how to do it really well, you are not going, maybe it is possible that you're not going to follow my final version of 3D printing. Maybe. Why is that? Because I create like a version that you can print, but maybe you have to, in this case, when I'm going to show you, when you join this and all of that, you're going to lose some details because you decimate, you apply a lot of modifiers to try to fix, to join and all of that things, and you're going to lose detail. So if you want to create this, maybe like a bigger Hulk, my version that I am preparing is not going to work for you. I am going to tell you that because I lose some detail here for example, I lose these details. I'm going to explain you. Okay, let's not mix things. I'm going to explain you later, okay? What's the thing that I want to explain you here? What is the error that I did, and I do not have to do this again, and you don't have to do this. Okay, let's start again. The character is perfect. We did nothing wrong with the character. This is what we planned. This is the plan at the beginning of the sculpting experiment. We say we're going to create a character, we're going to create a position, and that's all. We're going to create a belt, all of the details. Okay, we're going to sculpt that, and that was perfect. What is the problem? That later, for the rendering, I wanted to add more detail. What details? These little energy thunders here. It is looking awesome, but now how can I print this? How? For me, it is good to say, okay, I did not plan that, so I am just going to delete this. I'm not going to use the thunders. I have a version already, a version with no thunders. But if I am going to show you a render with this, you can say, okay, I'm going to print like this. Something I am going to have a printed version with the thunders. But then you found that you don't have a printed version for the thunders, and when you try to prepare the character for the printing version, you're going to say, okay, how am I going to print this? Because this is in the air. These thunders are in the air. This not. You can just join or create a small piece here to just take this off and then put it in again to create to put these thunders. You don't have problem with this one. This at the end you can add the thunders, but this one that was my error. I add this that was looking awesome for the render, but for the printing version is how I am going to create this. I cannot figure out yet how can I going to prepare this version with these thunders for 3D printing. What I am doing, I am changing the shape so I can join like a little bit here to close to the hand, so I can create different pieces to just for you to print and then put it in the hand. The same with here. I think that here I had to change the thunders. Another version, another thing that you can do that I was thinking on is, okay, I can create like some supports, invisible supports, transparent support, not invisible, transparent supports to just hold the thunders in the air. So you can like put in the supports these pieces in the air, and okay, you don't have problems with that. You can have your character. If you don't want it, you can take this out and you have the normal character with no thunders in the hands, like this one. But if you don't have a printed where you can change materials, that is only going to work for resin printers. For the normal like plastic, also I don't know if you can print this in the plastic, because with the for the plastic, the one for the filament, the printers that work with this, the normal printers, this is not a model, I think, for those printers, because usually those printers cannot print this level of detail. Simple as that. Those printers, I don't know, I am talking about like, let me like 7 years ago, when I bought a 3D printer, that was not possible. I don't know now. I really don't know how is the industry, the 3D printers, how good they are now. Maybe you can do that now, but at that time this was impossible to do, unless you create bigger pieces and separate pieces. Those kind of printers cannot handle these kind of details. Maybe the Hulk without the belt, it is good to do that in the print, in those printers. So these pieces are better for resin printers. And also you can, I was thinking in the transparent supports for those printers, but it is not something good. I don't know. I have two options: to leave it just like this, to turn off everything and just leave the character with no thunders, or to leave it like this and try to figure out, just change. I already changed the version here, and the version here and the shape, and join close to the hand, because I don't have another option. I don't have a support here, something that I create to hold the thunders, the energy. That was my error, because I didn't plan this from the beginning. I wanted to add this at the end, and now I am like having this idea: do it or not do it, do it or not do it. I think that at the end I'm going to do it. You are going to have two versions: the version with the printer with the thunders, with energy, and the version with no energy. And also, as always, I always give for the people that get the character, I always upload this version, so you can change whatever you want in the model. You can change, you can add more thunders, you can add a support, you can add, maybe you delete this energy. You can do whatever you want with the model. You can change the version here of the belt. You want more detail here in the belt. Okay, I mean you don't have to add more detail. I mean, when you join pieces for the final version, you can leave it separated as a separate piece, and this one too. That's what my original idea, but that was too much work too. And then I already told you that I always create like some version that can work to you. But if you are a professional 3D printer, print artist, it is possible that you don't follow my final version of the printed. I am talking about the printed version, not this. This is perfect. This is what we did. This is the character. I am talking about the final printed version. So let's move into what I am trying to explain to you. Okay, let me show you also the final. This is not the final render. I am saying that I have to paint like the little bit here of some colors here, a little bit to add more like that. Also to the clothes I have to do that, and also change to the other version, to the metallic version for this belt. I have to do that, but I don't know when I'm going to do that. Maybe when I got my UPS back. Okay, let me show you the final version. Okay, this is the work that I usually do when I turn off the camera and when we finish the streaming series. I worked on the 3D printed version, and with the 3D printed version you can see I am preparing a version where you have the energy. So I had to change, you can see I had to change a little bit the shape of the energy. So you can, here I have to prepare like a piece here to connect this, to print this separate and then to just pop that in. The same with the other thunders, you can see I have to change that if I want to prepare the second version of the character. The same here with the thunders. And this is what I'm talking to you about. This is the version that I prepared. Let me show you. I divide for example here I join the shirt with the upper part of the pants into one piece, and I left this giant like hole here that is going to be the pants with the legs. I also had to add some to add some pieces here to fix this, because when I add the remesh to join the legs with the pants, I had some weird details that was going to, it could cause a problem for 3D printers because of the bad of the spaces that I left here. That is so. Remember, if you're going to left a space, you have to left something like here, a big space. Or if you don't want, you have to join, so you don't have problems later. Okay, and this is going to connect this one. Let me show you the order that I prepared. Okay, first the legs. Also, you don't need like a support here like I prepared for Son Goku, because the model is completely big enough to support the other pieces. So this is the first piece with this big key here. Then you put the belt like up, put the belt here. You already have the space. I also have to do this. I have to slightly change a little bit the design here and here to not have problems. Maybe when you print, you always maybe find some issues. Maybe, for example, that you have to change a little bit the shape here, the border, so you can have what you can connect the piece. That's always that you have to keep in mind. But remember, this is my version. This is not like something that you have to follow, because here you can see that we lost some detail. And this is having a lot of detail, believe me. Remember, you always have to, it is good to have between like a maximum of 4 million and 7 million of triangles. Not more like for 7 millions. It is not a good idea. The print, I don't know if the printers now can handle that kind of triangles, but at my time when I started this, that was not a good idea. So I prefer to keep that limit, so we can polish and work with pieces like that. But by doing that, you lose some detail. For example, here you also like lose some edges here, but you still can see the design. So that's what matters. Okay. Also, because I think that I used a lot of smooth corrective, and that was not good. I had to add the smooth corrective at the end. That's something, but it is a lot. It is a lot when you work in this 3D printing, because you have to try it, and this is not working. You have to delete the file, find another way, and maybe you cannot join because there is something bad in the topology, because you left this. You have to remesh again. Then maybe you have to add. That's why for me it was easy to add the smooth corrective, so I can continue working on this, because I already told you this is very, very difficult, and I cannot show you because I have to delete and to try again and then wait for this to remesh and all of this. For example, here I see that I am having like not a problem, but for example here I don't have enough space, so this is joined, and maybe I have some things that I have to change here. I have to clean also the pieces. Maybe here I am having some things that I have to change. So that's the thing. That's the thing. This is a lot of work, and with this character is too much. Okay, after that we join our upper body with all the pieces. This is easy. You can print this with everything in any. So that this is an easy piece. Also this one, this is difficult to clean. I have to clean. I spent like 3 days cleaning this one, and I have a lot of work to do yet, but the other pieces are already clean. This one is also very difficult to clean because in some parts there were some issues that I have to clean, and also because this has a lot of triangles I have to find. It is a lot. I think that I'm going to show you to create a video for the process, but that is a lot. And also I create like this space here, so the hair can have his own like separate piece, and I can preserve the details on the hair. That's why I separate the hair from the head to leave some details, to not lose too much details. And this was my final version, my 3D printed version. But now with the thunders, I think that I have to prepare 2 versions: a belt with the thunders and the space here, and a belt with no, and an upper body with the spaces here with the holes in the hands to add this energy. That's what is happening. That is my printed version that I am still working on, and I don't know when I am going to upload this because I already told you I don't have my UPS, and I don't want to force my machine to do hard processing without the protection of the UPS because of the blackout problems that I have here and the variations that I have here in the energy in the place where I live. But this is all, friends. This is what I also, an important thing. Do you remember that with energy, we have like some really small parts to create that effect of for the thunder. Okay, I just delete that modifier that was the weld modifier, I think, and then I have back a normal volume here, enough to print this, and I just go to the end and to the final parts of each thunder and just make it smaller. So now you have great variations for the thunder. So a lesson here for me and for you that I am telling you: if you don't prepare something from the beginning, like these extra details, try not to do that later, because you already finish your character. You finish the version, the final version. You already finished, but then you had the idea to, okay, maybe this is looking good, and you have to do a lot of things to try to fix that, or to try to bring your character with these new elements, to change, that is not good. So keep that in mind, please. But I wanted to do that. So I already want to create this, so I don't have problem. Extra work for me, but at the end you're going to have a lot of material, so that's what really matters. And also, you can see the things that I am doing here, and as always, okay, you can say, okay, I am not going to do that. That is not something that we have to do, because we're going to have problems. So that's I'm telling you, if you want to create a different version, you can separate this one and just leave it like a complete different piece. The same with the frontal piece. So by doing that, you can preserve more detail here. This is more details, and the same here. That's the only purpose for that. But in my case, remember that this is just an example. This is the version, my version, for me to show you how can you separate. You have a reference. For example, I think that you can leave this separate because you want to preserve details here in the hair, and also here a separate piece. So you have like, at least if you don't want to follow to use my final version of the character, okay, you can create your own version, but at least using mine as a reference. Okay, so that's what I wanted to do, what I wanted to show you, friends. Let me close this just in case, and let me open the, not this, but what is the resources or downloads? Also let me open the image. Okay, friends, so this is all for today. We finished the recap. I don't know when I am going to finish to paint this character, the last details there for the render, and when I am going to finish the printing version, because of my computer. I don't know when I have, maybe for a week, at least for a week, with no UPS, and that is not good. So to avoid problems for my computer, just I'm going to keep like this to protect my computer. Just do it when I have the full setup, okay, when I got that part repaired. So this is the final sculpting, at least the sculpting version. This is the final sculpting version. I have to add some extra details to the render, to the painting, and also to finish the 3D printed. Okay, now what is the plan? What is the thing that we are going to do? I know that we have to, the next series is going to be the female comic character. Do you remember that? So let me see how is the pool here that I prepare. Let me see. Okay, this is the pool that I created for the next character that we're going to create. Okay, how can I turn off this or maybe stop? I don't know, I have to see later. I have to stop. Maybe I'm going to wait until Sunday, okay? Until this Sunday, I'm going to wait. I'm going to choose the winner. We have here 3 options. You have to decide. You have until Sunday to decide who is going to be our next character. Each character has its own level of difficulty. These are not easy characters. For example, in this one, the dress, the clothes is going to be a really difficult. Here the mask, for Hawker maybe the wings, for Poison Ivy maybe these. Also, these are not the final poses for the character. This is just examples for you to know who is the character, but this is not the final pose. We are always find a pose to work. But maybe here for Poison Ivy I had to create these like plants here. This is maybe the most difficult part of this if we want to create for 3D printing, maybe I have to figure out like a support and then add the plants. I don't know if we choose this one. And for the dark phoenix, the most difficult part maybe is going to be the hair and the phoenix, because the fire, I have to create something like that. So each character has its own challenge, and I want you please to continue with choosing who is going to be the final, the next character that we're going to create in our 3D sculpting instruments. Okay, let me get this here. So friends, this is all for today. So the news are this: I don't have my complete setup. I don't want to risk to push my computer, my PC to go damaged because of the blackout. So maybe next week we are not going to have the streaming Blender streams because of the problem that I already told you. Let's hope that next week these people repair the UPS so I can get it back, and then we can start the new series. Okay, so maybe next week we're going to have Blender gaming streaming nights. Maybe we're going to do that. That's the only thing that we can do for now. There's no other thing. If I want to create some content, I have to do that. That's what I wanted to say. So for now, I don't want to risk my computer. So maybe that is a plan. Okay, I know that some days I say one thing, but then I change. For example, this weekend I did not made the Blender streams, but I already, for example, here I was working on the character, trying to figure out how to create these thunders. That was a problem because I didn't plan that. So things appear, and I have to adapt to continue with the things that I have. Also, but I create a video, a drawing, my first time-lapse drawing. I don't know I think that you don't like it. I know that I am not a good artist, a good 2D artist, but just for content. And I also wanted to, like, a tribute to Akira Toriyama, because we remember 1 year of that he passed away. So I wanted to upload that Goku that I draw. Maybe I can prepare another draw for this weekend. I don't know. I'm going to see. I'm going to see, because I have to prepare the music. The music is the most difficult part for those drawings. Also, maybe it is just the video of the complete process. Maybe that's something that you cannot maybe like, because it is better, I know, if you can see how I draw the process that I use and do all those things. But that's what the material that I have, so I have to work with that. So friends, that's all for today. I hope you liked this. This was a very difficult character. You can check, of course, the whole process. Before I create the time lapse for this one, I have to prepare a video, the cage method for modeling, for past like high poly details into low poly details. I have to prepare a video for that. First, that video. Also, I don't know, I have to wait. Next week I cannot. I have to limit the use of my computer until I got that UPS back. So maybe next week, in 2 weeks, I start working on the video, and after that video I am going to start working on the time lapse of this Hulk. Okay, but it's going to maybe more than 1 hour of video, because we spend like 54 days here with this character. So remember that, you have to keep in mind that. And I don't know if you want to say something. But I really, if everything, I know that this year we don't have like a regular time, a regular hours that I usually used to have at the end of the last year, because different problems, energy problems, power problems. That piece, I think that because of the blackouts, I got damaged that UPS. Also, the internet problems. Something always happened, and this year was not good. I had to stop the gaming streamings to try to create more things and to use next days to do other projects, and on those times when I had no energy and no internet. So I know that these times we are not having like a regular hour, so I am trying to bring this to continue with the streams, because I want to do this. So that's why if something happens, I don't know what channel I can use to communicate. I don't know if you have social media, X, Instagram, I don't know what do you use, so I can Discord. In Discord we are a really small community. Maybe YouTube, I don't know, or maybe I don't have to worry about that too much, because we're just starting, so maybe in the future. And that's all, friends. So remember, if you're new in this channel, so maybe tomorrow we're going back with our gaming streaming, playing Doom 3. Let's hope nothing happens. Believe me, something always happens, and I cannot do what I wanted to do. But if nothing happens, maybe we can have our gaming streamings nights again, and the next week only gaming streamings until I got my UPS back. Okay, so that's all, friends, and hoping that nothing happens, no blackouts, no internet problems. Okay, so I have to do things with the problems and find solutions, and we're always going forward. Okay, moving forward. And that's all. Thanks for coming, and remember, if you're new in this channel, please subscribe to the channel, give it a like, share this content with others, leave a comment below. Please leave a comment, I don't know, something, maybe a question, maybe some emoji, something, so you can help me with saying okay, more people to watch the content. So I remember you have all the videos here. Let me show you all the videos here of the full series view playlist. No, what is this? I am not already. This one. You have all the videos here of all the process that we made to create this character. You have everything here, but the time lapse, I am not going to do that yet, because I have to finish other things. But you have all here. You have all things here. So it is open for everyone. You can see this. You can watch this. If you're new, you can know that, and share this content, subscribe, leave it a like, leave a comment, and also remember, for those who just are coming, remember to vote. Please vote. Choose which character do you want me to create in the next series. Not this week. Remember, in 2 weeks maybe we're going to start again with our Blender streaming series with a new character. Choose between these 4 options that you have here. Please vote. You have until I don't know how to close this, but I'm going to see that later. Maybe until Sunday you're going to have the opportunity to choose the next character. Okay, so please try to choose what do you want to see in the next Blender streaming series. Just one. Remember, I'm not going to create these 4 characters. Maybe in the future we're going to continue with the other options, but now only one. And for those who came today, thank you for coming, thank you for your support, and remember, gaming streamings for a week at least. And also for the news, if you want, you can join to our Discord server. Now that I have time, that I'm not going to use Blender for a while, at least not too much Blender, I can prepare the content for start to create like a plan for my social media accounts, for X, for Instagram, so you can follow me on Instagram. I'm going to start uploading my work, my projects there, so you can follow me on my social media accounts. You have all the links here in my YouTube channel. Also, if you want to get characters like this one, you can go to my CG Trader profile. Remember, you can get some characters and models for your games. I don't know, let me show you. For example, game assets for animations, games, other these pieces for assets, or you want printed characters for your collection. You have a lot of options here. Maybe you like Pokemon, you like, I don't know, this Chainsaw Man. This was a really good character also that I upload. And also I can prepare, but I don't have, no. I can prepare, also I open a Turbo Squid account, so you'll have another option for you to get some characters here. I cannot upload this ancient, my first characters. You can only get these versions here on CG Trader because I don't have these files anymore. This was like 7 years ago, so I don't have these files. I had that on a computer, a laptop that I used in those times, but I don't have that anymore, and I lost the files for this one. So you can only get these characters, my first characters, here on CG Trader. But I am going to upload these options to the Turbo Squid account. Okay. So friends, that's all. Remember to subscribe, that is very important, and see you. Thanks for coming. Remember to subscribe, very important. Subscribe. I'm always going to repeat. Please help me with a subscription, so I know that you like this. Or maybe write something. Say, okay, maybe you have to change this. I don't know. I don't like your English. Okay, I'm going to practice more my English. Okay, but write something so I know what I can improve. Okay. This is for you. So if you don't tell me what to do, what I can have a good feedback, I continue maybe doing something, a mistake or something that you think that I have to change. Okay, that's what I am trying to say. And I know that I talk like more than 30 minutes. Okay, but I already told you everything. And that's all, friends. Subscribe and see you, maybe, if nothing happens, tomorrow at night for the gaming streaming nights with Doom 3. Okay, so that's all. I'm going to plan content for the social media accounts, channels, so you can got my messages when something happens. I think that the Discord server is a good option. So with the Discord server, I can prepare a 3D. In the announcement channel, I can prepare. Okay, I have this problem. I'm going to connect late, or maybe today I cannot connect because I cannot start the streaming because I had this problem. We're going to continue tomorrow. Okay, so I can announce you what is going to happen, and if something happens, you know, because I think that it is not good when I am doing this and then one day I disappear and you know nothing. I think that's not good. I know that, but I don't know how to communicate that to you because we don't have yet like a good like a channel. Discord, I think that's why I create Discord. So please join to Discord. I can, or maybe in my social media accounts, maybe on Twitter, on X, I can announce that so you know what is happening. Okay, so maybe we continue tomorrow. Okay, so please. And okay, no more words. I know that you're tired. of my voice, of my English. So see you in the next one, friends. Thanks for coming. Subscribe. Bye bye.